Hello, my name is Raluca Constantinescu, lead editor at The Papers, and today I am joined by Norman Berkey, Global Head of Payment Operations at CellPoint Digital. Hi, Norman. It's lovely to have you here.
Thanks, Raluca. Nice to meet you.
Could you maybe perhaps start with a brief intro about yourself?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Norman Berkey. I am Head of Payment Operations here at CellPoint. I'm based out of Dubai, but we have offices in America, Dallas. We have offices in the UK and around the globe. And I've been in payments for 15 years. I started off my career at WorldPay, where I was a senior analyst looking after interchange management. And then I was promoted to pricing manager. So I did that for about 5 years. After WorldPay, I joined Visa, the schemes, in their Paddington office in Sheldon Square, looking after interchange management. After Visa, I joined PayPal in the Richmond office in London, I was the head of data and product services. And after PayPal, I joined Elevon as the director of global billing, interchange, and pricing, where I spent about 3 years. So I've been in the payment space for around 15 years and looking after interchange management and scheme fee management.
Lovely. Thank you so much for sharing this with our audience. Today, we will talk about interchange opportunities and optimization processes in travel payments to see why this is an important part of travel merchants' payment strategies and how payment orchestration can support optimization efforts. So, Norman, what are the most prominent challenges in payment processing for the travel industry, and which aspects of the payments journey are most overlooked?
Yeah, sure. So I think some of the difficulties in travel include things like, cross-border transactions. There's a lot of refunds, chargebacks. There's also, you're dealing with a high ticket value, high ATVs. So we're working with large transaction values. There's some compliance and regulation issues and constraints. We cover things like FX, DCC. We have, MCC, different MC merchant category code assignments. There's challenges and difficulties around settlement, reconciliation. So there's, a wealth of complexities within travel. And I think in terms of, looking at overcoming some of those challenges, this is where we do interchange optimization, helping work with merchants to optimize their payment flows, their payment ecosystems, going through, looking at the cross-border transaction and seeing where we can help merchants reduce cost.
Thank you. You mentioned helping merchants. How do these challenges more specifically impact travel merchants?
So I guess for travel merchants, when I talk about, settling, looking at settlement, looking at the data and reconciling that, that's going to be a huge challenge because firstly, they're processing billions of dollars of volume. There's complexities around interchange. So interchange, it differs by region. So domestic, intra, and inter. It differs by card type. So whether it's a consumer card or a commercial card. It also differs the interchange rates in terms of credit card versus debit card, transaction type. So is it a card present transaction? Is it a card not present transaction? So all these areas require different rates. So that's where the complexity comes in. And then looking at scheme fees, we get billed scheme fees on a daily basis, weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly, one-offs. And they cover things like, licensing fees, market development fees, reporting fees, network fees, innovation fees, and authorization settlement fees. So there's a whole landscape that's pretty complex in terms of scheme fees and interchange. And this is where we can come in and support merchants with a different lens.
Moving on, the interchange optimization process is often overlooked by travel merchants, but please help us better understand why interchange optimization is actually an important aspect of their payment strategy.
Yeah, sure. So I think interchange optimization, it's not necessarily high on the agenda for travel customers. The reason for that is there's so many different layers and complexities in the business that the actual high payment cost of interchange and scheme fees isn't necessarily looked upon as an opportunity. But I think it's a huge opportunity because those rates are pretty complex, as I discussed earlier, in terms of how they're qualified, and we can help merchants best qualify and qualify for the lowest rates. So, we can help them with the reconciliation, we can help them with the analytics, and then we can, a lot of these rates are not publicly available, but we have knowledge and experience in interchange and scheme fees that we can overlay across their data to give them more transparency on what the actual costs are and where we can save the money. Why interchange optimization is critical for businesses is because I'm the subject matter expert with 15 years experience in payments. So I'm able to come in and with a fine tooth comb go through billing lines and go through the interchange and scheme fees and see whether there's any misbilling or any errors. So, it's a worthwhile exercise to run. And also, even small basis points savings, working with large volumes, mean there's a huge impact on revenue. So there's a huge opportunity for businesses. And then what that does is, the correct data that and routing then increases approval rates for the business. So they have better profitability. And yeah, so I think, we don't, as businesses, we don't want to leave money on the table. So it's a worthwhile exercise to conduct.
Super, thank you. We discussed in more detail about the travel space, but my question would be if interchange related pain points differ across e-commerce verticals, and if yes, how?
Yeah, so they do actually differ across verticals, and the reason for that is, there's different ATV sizes, the refund platforms are different, the processes are different. There's definitely different shares in terms of cross-border volume. So like I'll give you an example through, if we compare travel to retail, travel is, a high ticket business, high refund, there's many cross-border transactions. Retail, for example, it's more around high volumes, low tickets, and a fewer refunds.
I see. Yeah, thank you. Now, lastly, the travel sector deals with high value, cross-border, and multi-currency payments, which make payments management more complex, right? So, how can payment orchestration support interchange optimization efforts? And also, I'd like to discuss how is CellPoint Digital leveraging its expertise in this direction.
Yeah, sure, sounds good. So I think, payment orchestration is key for travel customers, and the reason for that is you've got one plugin solution, which opens up so many different doors. So you can control things around routing transactions, you've got access to data analytics, you can look at merchant category codes, you can also look at FX and settlement. So it's like it's a one-stop shop in terms of, being able to navigate those volumes and those transactions to get the best approval rates for transactions. So, it's definitely the future. I can also add just in terms of interchange optimization and what it is, right? So interchange optimization is working with merchants to assess the Visa and MasterCard interchange and scheme fees. And what we do is we come in and we have a look at your Visa and MasterCard fees and see where we can save you money and qualify for the lowest rate. So it's definitely a worthwhile exercise to conduct. And there's, we already know travel merchants have very thin margins. So having a lens over these fees is really important and vital for businesses going forward. So, a lot of the work that we do is data driven. We look at intelligent routing, operational efficiencies, and we basically are in a position to come in and support merchants save money. And even a small percentage change in interchange and scheme fees can mean huge revenue because we're working with such large volumes.
Thank you so much, Norman. Any final thoughts about where the industry is headed?
Yeah, sure. So I think with the payments, we've seen so many over the last few years, we've seen so many new players coming into the industry. Payments is a very dynamic space, and I think with the introduction of AI as well, it'll be very interesting to see how we leverage AI, artificial intelligence, into payments and how that kind of shapes the payment space. But what I would say is over the next few years, there's huge opportunity on the payment ecosystems for companies to review what they're being charged from acquirers and PSPs, and also to highlight any opportunities in terms of, foreign exchange and DCC elements. So huge opportunity, and it's always an evolving space. So payment industry moves so fast and so quickly. So I'm excited to see how it all pans out.
Thank you so much, Noman. Really valuable insights on the interchange optimization process, and it's also great to understand where the industry is headed, and that this is an important part of travel merchants' payment strategy. So thank you for sharing your input.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Super. Have a great day.
And that's great. Thank you.